What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing a little Q&A. I haven't done one of these videos in quite some time, and I'm almost at 1,800 subscribers, and I thought, I got some new subs, got some new viewers, I've noticed some new comments on my content. Why not just make a little Q&A? So I did this on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with Jason. He says, what do you do for a living to help support your gaming hobby? I think this is a question that many YouTuber or content creators get, is like, what do you do for a living? Because a lot of people, they don't do YouTube for a living. They have another job, they have another life. And with that being said, I try to be a little bit more private with my personal life to some degree. I will say, though, I do maintenance at a assisted living center. That's what I do. And to be honest, to support my gaming hobby makes it sound like a drug problem or something. It's not a problem at all. Honestly, I just budget a lot. I budget a lot of my games. I don't buy a lot of new games. I wait for the prices to drop, even more so if it's a single player game. One thing I always tell people, if you find yourself buying every game that's coming out but you're not playing them, just stop and play your backlog and beat some games, and reward yourself when you beat a game. Reward yourself by buying another game. When it comes to retro, I don't buy as much retro as I used to. The market's just gotten too crazy. Next up is from Skip Rogers. He says, what is your favorite Skip Rogers tip? Collect more points. That's my favorite tip. James Gruesome, my co-host, he actually asked, do you think you would look at least half as good as I do in a Yakuza shirt, or suit, I should say? And I have to say, I don't think I'd look as cool. I mean, James, you really pulled that off. It looked awesome. Justin asked, what would it take for you to get an Xbox One? That is one console I don't have. And the reason why is because the Xbox One hasn't appealed to me in any shape or form. Even their exclusives, I haven't been too crazy about. And what would it take for me to get an Xbox One? If Konami made a Castlevania exclusive just for the Xbox One, then I would buy one. Bradley, he asked, do you think we'll be getting a Smash Wii U 3DS Ultimate Bundle port for the Switch? And do you think that's why they're holding out on the last 3 amiibo? That's a good question. That's a good possibility. I'm wondering if they're holding out on the last 3 amiibos because they're not Nintendo properties like Cloud and Bayonetta. Maybe they're trying to work out some license, like some sort of license or something. I don't know. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for those 3 amiibo because I just want to complete the Smash amiibo line and be done with it. I don't collect amiibos nearly as much as I used to. All right. My friend Axel Foley, he says, will you be my +1 to the Mario Party? Only if we both wear gloves. If you bring those gloves so we don't mess up our joysticks, I will be your +1. All right. Lynn, he asked, ever plan on doing more first impressions on past consoles or games? And yes, I do plan on doing that. That's pretty much the bread and butter on my channel. I love talking about my gaming memories. Sometimes I'll talk about gaming news or something like that, but I feel like that stuff gets dated the moment I have time to get in front of the camera and talk about it. But, talking about my memories of like the Sega Dreamcast or, stuff like that, I feel like that stuff's timeless and much more relatable than some of the clickbait articles that, people cover today. Tag, Power Metal Gamer, he asks, what's 3 of the biggest YouTube channels that you watch? I don't really watch a whole lot of big channels. There's some that I watch, and I try to support my friends and watch their channels more, though, to be honest. And I haven't had time to watch a whole lot of YouTube, been very busy with work. But when I do watch like bigger channels, believe it or not, they're not really gaming channels. I enjoy watching Damn Drops. I love his like food reviews. I like Real Ghost Stories Online, which is a podcast from like this married couple made a podcast, and people send in their ghost stories and they read them and they talk about it. I like stuff like that. I feel like a lot of gaming channels start to kind of convolute and become the same entity. You know, everyone starts talking about the same news stuff. And if I do have to mention like big gaming channels that I do enjoy watching would be stuff like My Life in Gaming, real educational videos where it shows you like how to go RGB on your N64, why CRT televisions are very important for retro gaming. I enjoy stuff like that. More so than like pickup videos and whatnot. Mark asks, do you see the industry losing sight of what makes games fun and just trying to make games more interactive films? Yes, I do see that with the AAA titles. I don't see that as much with the indie market, and that's one of the reasons why I love the indie scene so much. You know, you have games like, you know, the new Mass Effect that was focusing so much on like this atmosphere and stuff like that, and then you have games like these small indie titles that come out that are just amazing, and it's unfortunate, I mean, but everybody wants the biggest and best thing, so it's only inevitable that we'll be having more interactive movies and games. Jason asks, what is the worst console for Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and Sega? Give me reasons why. You know, I don't think Nintendo made a bad console. Even the Virtual Boy had good games on it. I believe if they were to take the Virtual Boy and make a Virtual Console ports on like the 3DS, and people actually got to play Mario Tennis, people actually got to play Jack Bros, they actually got to play Wario World, they would like understand that the Virtual Boy, despite its really primitive design, it was actually a really fun console. Sony, I don't think Sony's made a bad console. I enjoyed the PlayStation 1 through 4, and I want to get a Vita one day. I love the PSP. Sega, I think all the Sega consoles are really good, even the 32X. There's fun games on the 32X. I believe if the console has a game that's a lot of fun, then it's not a failure. Microsoft, I love the OG Xbox, and the Xbox 360 was like my go-to for that generation. Xbox One just hasn't sold me yet. I don't think it's a terrible console, it's just not my cup of tea. And Brennan asks, PlayStation or Xbox? Now let me get into this, because I get a lot of people ask me this, you know, PlayStation or Xbox, Nintendo or PlayStation? Why not both? My thing is as long as we have these consoles, we have a competitive market, and that's great for us gamers because we have more experiences to explore. Now, I would never want PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo to go out of business. I want these companies to stride and make the money because, you know, I don't want a monopoly in the gaming market. And I would have to say, if I had to choose between the two, I'd just say Sega Dreamcast or like PC Engine or something. But I mean, I don't understand anyone who's loyal, like being loyal to just one brand of gaming. I think that's stupid, in my honest opinion. I think that'd be equivalent of me just watching Warner Brothers movies or only eating at Burger King. You're selling yourself short, you know, like trying to buy all the consoles. Kevin asks, what are your top 10 favorite game series of all time? That, sir, is a video within itself, and that gave me a really good idea, and I probably will make that for a future upload. But if I would have to say my absolute favorite gaming series of all time, and I even tell many people, if a game company like Xbox, you know, makes me want to buy their product, make an exclusive Castlevania, because I love the Castlevania series. That's like my all-time favorite. And I have some other ones that are, you know, slight contenders, but Castlevania all the way. Mario asks, question, what was your first game console and your current favorite and why? My first game console that I ever played was an Atari 2600. The first game console I ever owned was a original Nintendo Entertainment System. My current favorite and why? That's hard to answer, because my current favorite would actually be the Wii U, because I've been playing the hell out of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But overall, if I would say my favorite console this generation would be the PlayStation 4. And the reason why is because they have so many exclusives, so many niche titles, a great indie market. And I'm really liking the way the Nintendo Switch is shaping up. I enjoyed the Wii U. I thought the Wii U was very underrated and wasn't handled well. and I'm hoping the Nintendo Switch picks that up. Michael Burhan, he says, if you're ever told to choose between gaming and a loved one, would you give up gaming? You know, I read some of the comments, and some of the comments, people were like making it as if, you know, a girl was like, it's either me or video games. Of course I would choose gaming over that, because obviously the girl doesn't know me well, because I'm very apparent that I love video games, and I'm very lucky to have a girlfriend who loves video games as much as I do, who will actually get upset if I'm not playing video games. You know, she's like, let's play some Zelda. But I mean, I'm thinking also maybe he means it as if, you know, maybe if I had to sell my collection, like maybe if a loved one had medical issues and I needed to sell my collection, I would definitely do that, because they're just video games. They can be replaced, they can be rebought, you know, no one else can be replaced. And one of the things I hate is I wouldn't stoop as low as like open up a GoFundMe to help a relative of mine using my YouTube fame to make money off of that, when I could just sell my video games. You know, it sucks, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. Scummy. Do you think Nintendo can make a good game for adults? Yes, Burhan. Zelda Breath of the Wild. You just got it on the Switch. I think you can agree with me that game is just timeless. You know, I think that's the thing. Nintendo makes timeless games. They don't make games that are just like adult, you know, dark and gritty, which in my opinion, dark and gritty and adult themes, after a while they get just as corny as a Fisher-Price toy. I think that's about it. I did get a question I didn't save from my friend Ryan. He asked me if, you know, how I saw gaming consoles going off in the future, because some people said that console gaming is totally going to be a thing of the past, and I think we're going to be seeing more of the console PC hybrid and mobile devices. It's always going to be evolving. Console gaming has always evolved in some sort of degree, whether it be playing on DVDs or CDs or playing on carts. And the future, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see a divide or no divide between console and PC. I like to keep it kind of separate in some degree, because like I said, I like that competitive market. I like the console people to try to make a great gaming experience, and PC gaming being PC gaming. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would love to have some sort of hub where everyone can play online, but that's the way it is. But anyway, guys, I think that's all the questions I got for my Q&A. And if you guys have any questions that I didn't cover in this video, leave a comment below. I'd love to answer it. And maybe I'll do another Q&A when I hit like 2,000 subs or something like that. But anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.
Can't get enough of Excess Gaming Podcast? Be sure to check out our audio podcast on podomag.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check us out on Facebook on our group page and join the community. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support, and happy gaming.